Hi everyone, this is the second video on boxes. You just start by sketching one. So as I said to you in the previous video, as a product designer, I might use the box as a sort of frame of reference for something which is going to be the volume of an object. So in this case here, it's not a cube, I've just drawn a box. And from this point on, I might then decide to bisect, dissect, whatever you want to call it, this volume to actually create my object. And this box, if you will, is going to be my form of reference. Okay, so I'll give you a couple of examples. So for instance, using a sort of technical method of finding a center point, I might want to offset a feature from the top, keeping my parallels. Okay, and let's say now that I want to extend these points down to the corners. Okay, again moving my piece of paper. Okay, again moving it that way. Okay, and so forth like that. So that's a classic example of using a sort of box methodology to actually construct something. Now I'm going to continue the box down. I'm going to create an additional box. And again, my alignments, move my piece of paper around. So I'm keeping to this perspective alignment. Okay, and again, track across. Again, track this way. You can see this one's out slightly, but I can move that over a bit. And again, I'm going to draw my inside volume so I can actually get a point of reference. Okay, so this object here is going to have a feature which is going to look a bit like a cheese wedge. So I'm going to sketch in the middle of this lower face. So this is my reference frame, which is useful. And on either side of the center line, okay, I'm going to draw a thickness. So I've got a thickness of line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then construct up to these points. Okay, and again here, this point here. So you can see, again, I can quite quickly sort of construct this form. Now, I don't know what this form is going to be. Maybe it's some Art Deco teapot. Okay, if so, it's going to have a handle. What I want to do, I think, is have a sort of supporting foot. This lower section here looks like a little bit precarious, okay, being that it's on quite a thin platform. So I'm going to basically have a supporting leg which is going to sort of help stabilize it a bit. And in this case, now I'm going to be looking at this structure and think, what elements of the geometry here are going to help me draw this thing so that I've got a leg which is in line with this face. We would call it sort of collinear if it was in sort of CAD jargon. So one way of doing it, let's put a little point there and a little point there, would be for me to then draw a line, okay, touching those 2 points, okay, and going further down. Doesn't matter, I'm slightly off. And again, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a point here and a point there. Okay, that represents me bisecting that shape there. I'm going to just spin it around this way. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line. So there in the drawing is the sort of frame of reference there for that sort of triangular support. Okay, and I'm going to give it a thickness because it's going to have a certain thickness being a leg. So on either side of this, in fact, what I might do is I might determine the thickness by drawing the sort of thickness line there. So now what I can do is I can sort of run these parallels. So there's that one, that side, and this one's going to bounce back to here, and then this one's going to go up to here. Let's just put that line in a little bit darker so you can see that. Okay, so using this sort of box construction methodology, you can see that I can actually create a complex form, or a form which is increasing in its complexity. Taking over with my Pentel, let's just put some line weights in so we can sort of see this form a bit clearer. Again, you'll see me sort of rotating my piece of paper around. Apologise if you get a little bit dizzy from watching me do this. Okay, but you can see here that I'm able to quite quickly and confidently, okay, put those lines in. Okay, so there's an example of using boxes to begin with, but using boxes to help me define proportionally as well as structurally a shape which I might find tricky to sort of draw without this sort of frame of reference. I hope that's been useful for you.